Hey guys, so I thought I would make this video and tell you guys about D-Day slash Juno Beach. So, what happened on that day? So, in the 1940s, in June 6, 1944, there was Harold Rowden was stepped into the cold water in the English of Juno Beach and became part of the history. But who landed on Juno Beach was Canadians and the Allies, and there was an invasion on from Europe with Allied armies is on the coast of Normandy on D-Day. The division landed on Juno Beach. Without further ado, let's begin. So, to those who haven't looked up history, in July 21st, it didn't become catching until that day. That was a major objective, with only two beaches, Juno and Gold, were linked on the first day. The five beachheads were not connected until the 12th of June. However, it was gained a foothold that the Allies gradually expanded over the coming months. There was casualties on D-Day, estimated to 4,000 to 9,000 men. One night case became documented for 10,000 if unlucky. With those were confirmed 4,414 dead soldiers, which they were now found in museums, memorials, and war cemeteries. And by now hosts those many visitors each year, as you may notice. But anywho, let us start from the beginning, for real this time. And after World War II began, Germany invaded and occupied northwestern France, beginning in the 1940s, in May 1940 that is. While the Americans entered the war in December 1941, and by 1942, them and the British, who had been evacuated from the beaches of Dunkirk in May 1940, after being caught up by the Germans in the Battle of France. They were considering the possibility of a major Allied invasion across the English Channel in the following year. Allies planned a cross-channel invasion that would ramp up. In November 1943, Hitler, who died in 1945, who was aware of the threat of an invasion along France's northern coast. Where Erwin Rommel, who was born from 1891 to 1944, in charge of spearheading the defense operations in the region. Even though the Germans did not know exactly where the Allies would strike, Hitler charged Rommel with finishing. Alright, and around the time, there were 10,000 Allied casualties. As I said, with 4,414 confirmed dead, and around 24,000 British, American, and Canadian troops landed after midnight. And there were blueprints of the plan codenamed after the Operation Bodyguard. The attack started in Western Europe and led to France's liberation. And yes, and around the time, there were Axis troops of 4 to 9,000 of them. And there were vehicles meaning there were a total of 156,000 troops, 5,000 landing crafts, 50,000 vehicles, with 11,000 planes going at each other like it's a match. Not just any match. There's a war between two troops going at each other, and that was most likely it. Otherwise, we shall continue. At that time, D-Day changed the landscape of history in Normandy. Otherwise, the D-Day invasion took place in the coastal area of France, known as Normandy at that time. And despite the region's rich history, it is now most famously remembered as the scene of this bloody invasion, which was so intense that it would never ever be this scary. Yeah, here's another fact. Another fact is that Operation Bodyguard was an Allied operation to hide a D-Day plan. Otherwise, or to deceive the Germans, the Allies had to create a fake operation, which is the Operation Bodyguard. That way, the Germans would not be sure of the exact date and location of the main Allied landings. And since I'm running out of time, I should just say a couple more facts before I go. And so yeah, Omaha Beach was one of the 5 main beaches of the D-Day invasion, which was the Allies dividing the 50 miles of the Normandy coast into 5 beaches or sections. which the beaches were named in Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. And I should give you another fact to like end it off. There were like over 2,400 American soldiers that were killed on Omaha Beach on D-Day. Otherwise, that weather had to lead some some tanks, which were intended to provide support to the troops at Omaha Beach. Otherwise, with a summary, they had the fascinating appeals after more than 50 years after the D-Day invasion took place, which happened in 1944. Which now here we are in 2022, although this will be uploaded on YouTube. There was a large-scale invasion of Normandy, France, that took place. On D-Day, there was marked a turning point in World War II, dictated to the course of history, which also now is marked D-Day of the beginning of the Allies retaking Europe. So yeah, so D-Day is the scariest event in history, which that will be crucial, if I remember correctly. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna sign off here, and otherwise, if I'm missing some facts, let me know in the comments, because I haven't got all the facts, but again, if you have more facts than me, let me know. Otherwise, that's gonna be it for today, so thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys for what's coming up next. Yeah, which is probably gonna be more Let's Plays, because I'm better off with these than getting the facts on history. Which that reminds me, I should probably go. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys for what's to come coming up next.